to embrace ice. With that sort of urgency, one will search for Krishna. Upon getting whom, nothing remains to be attained. Upon knowing whom, nothing remains to be known. You mentioned those verses as well, Jasmine.
Yes.
Praptam bhavati. So, I mean, if as far as related to Prabhu's question last night, I would just say he's speaking in a spirited way about the searching spirit of the devotee.
Yes.
So perhaps you're playing this to indicate that we must have that sort of searching spirit in our practice.
Right, and this is actually because Guru Maharaj is continuing a little bit, but I understand it was too difficult to hear. But this is what the point Guru Maharaj in this talk was giving, that everything is coming from his side, but he just wants to see our sincere eagerness to search for him, to come to him, like that. That this cultivation of ourselves, of the sincerity, of eagerness to search out Sri Krishna. And as Maharaj said, and I think this may be what struck me this morning when I was listening to this, was Guru Maharaj is spirited, very enthusiastic to encourage us to search for Sri Krishna, reality the beautiful. So this is, I just felt, after the topic last night, I felt, oh, this is Guru Maharaj saying, showing from what is our duty, trying to say our duty is we need to be serious in our search and with great enthusiasm. But it was very beautiful. Somehow Guru Maharaj's words, they transmit a lot of things extra. And spirited is good expression. Anyway, I just wanted to play that because when we hear beautiful things, we want to share them. But it's true, we'll match it up with the Bluetooth speaker if we do another talk. But still remember, we were with Guru Maharaj and many times we have to listen very carefully, reminded of the description in Srimad Bhagavatam, where in pin drop silence everyone came to hear. That description perhaps was when Shukadev Goswami gave Bhagavatam, perhaps. That deliverance of the Bhagavatam. In pin drop silence, everybody coming to hear that message of Bhagavatam. So we were pin drop silence trying to hear today, and in Navadip with Guru Maharaj we'll be very much in pin drop silence trying to hear what Guru Maharaj is giving in his talk. So not bad that we make special effort to try to hear.
Sometimes little birds in the background.
Sometimes birds in the background.
Sometimes workers also.
Workers.
Bang, bang.
Yeah.
Sometimes Hindu festival music.
You're so generous with your description of the music, Maharaj. And though here perhaps there were some workers also in the background. And sometimes the devotees would give some indication to stop the work, but Guru Maharaj did not approve. He liked the sound. In other words, it's a sound of savor. So, okay, they're banging, they're doing some sawing, they're doing these things, but what are they doing? They're doing something, they're doing savor for the temple. So, Guru Maharaj is giving his discourses about savor, while savor is going on around. So, it almost, because we've seen Guru Maharaj's mood, it becomes like an ornament to the discussion rather than a hindrance to the talks that Guru Maharaj gives, and makes us also have to hear more attentively to what he says. Not everything comes through loudspeakers amplified many times. And somehow or another it was Krishna's arrangement, we don't know. But devotees did try to put a little amplifier system from Guru Maharaj so that those further back, when he was sitting in the front veranda and festival time there'd be quite a lot of devotees, they did actually arrange that there would be one of those many microphones that would be attached to Guru Maharaj went to an amplifier and a loudspeaker, which was not at the front but a little back so that the people in the back could hear. But somehow it was not successful, and rather we would they tried it 2 or 3 times and then it wasn't successful. So still we were hearing the actual sound of Guru Maharaj's voice, like the nature sound of his voice and not the amplified sound. So somehow in Navadip in those days, Krishna wanted to keep everything very simple. And it was a simple time. But wonderful time for us. All right, I just wanted to share that. While the sun was rising on Villa Govinda this morning, on a beautiful morning in Villa Govinda of Sri Chaitanya-charitamrta. Then, today you brought out the cameras and all sorts of things. So, we better read from Chaitanya-charitamrta. Does anybody have Chaitanya-charitamrta? By the way, what is this book? Is this a Spanish songbook?
Yes.
I see.
Cancionero.
See with it. And the page is all nicely. Huh? Nice binding, nice songbook. From Ashram Maharaj, yes? From Srila Ashram Maharaj in Mexico?
So. Yeah, Mexico, I think so.
Nice.
Jai Balai Prabhu did the typography.
Jai Balai Prabhu did the typography. Okay. All right. So we'll be a little traditional. Read from Sri Chaitanya-charitamrta for a short while. And if any topics come up, then they may come up. And we will see what will be.
The next one, the gold one.
And I see you are not using our non-patented, but should be patented, Sri Chaitanya-charitamrta bookmark with the slider on that shows where we are, and depending which way around you put it in the book, it's this page or this page. It had the slider, so you know what part of the page it was on. Invented in Navadip, Sri Chaitanya-charitamrta. Wow. It's useful because we are passing the book day by day to different people. It could be one of 20 verses. Hare Krishna. All right, Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Sri Chaitanya-charitamrta ki Jai, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki Jai, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai. Jai Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakpak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Vishwareni Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Sri Rupanuga Guru Bhaga ki Jai. So reading from Sri Chaitanya-charitamrta, Madhya-lila, chapter number 3, entitled Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Stay at the House of Advaita Acharya. Maharaj, can you say, do you know offhand where maybe finished?
Do you remember the exact verse, student? I don't remember the exact
It was just when Advaita Acharya, he tells Mahaprabhu, I have like a few palm for the rice for you at my house. And then they go to his house after he collects from the boat.
Yeah, here.
All right.
Yeah, probably start with this one.
All right. So we'll read a little bit. And Maharaj, if you want to say anything at any moment, don't hesitate to do so. Oh my goodness. We are used to the iPad. We like to make it bolder and bigger. And you know, you see, now we are reading the
Italic.
cursive, the italic script. And it's Gurudev who he liked that the Bengali and the Sanskrit, that the verses will be not in cursive, but they will be clear and actually in bold. So it's Roman and bold. And everything is like what we are used to, but you see, now we've got used to the iPad. When we look at it like this, we think, oh, how right Gurudev. I mean, of course he's right, but you know, such clear idea that, yes, it'll be bold and cursive. All right. Ettaboli, saying this, Ettaboli naukaya chadana nila nija ghara pada prakhalana koila ananda antara. All right. So, Mahaprabhu has taken sannyas, and he then roamed around in Rara Desh, and this is the area of Katwa and south of, actually in an extended area, but the area essentially around Katwa, where is Guru Maharaj's appearance place, Hapanya, where is Guru Dev's appearance place, Bamunpara, that whole area, he roamed around, and thinking that he's going to Vrindavan, with the intention of going to Vrindavan, and then by some tricks of Nityananda Prabhu, then he actually ended up in Shantipur, which is not quite Vrindavan, well, not quite Vrindavan in the physical atlas that we know of. And in Shantipur, then he has bathed in the river, been taken to Advaita Acharya's house, and Advaita Acharya, in the last verse, previous to this one where you ended, he is saying to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's inviting him to come, and he's saying, at my home, so this is Advaita Acharya saying, at my home I have just cooked 1 palmful of rice. The vegetables are always very simple. There is no luxurious cooking. Simply a little liquid vegetable and spinach. What does it mean, liquid vegetable? Suppa. Okay. So he's invited him and said, oh, we won't give you anything opulent. You just took sannyas. Don't worry. Keep it very simple. Then saying this, the verse that we just read, saying this, Sri Advaita Acharya took the Lord into the boat. Okay, so now he's getting into the boat and brought the Lord to his residence. There, Advaita Acharya washed the feet of the Lord and was consequently very happy within. Okay. Next verse, English first. All the eatables were first cooked by the wife of Advaita Acharya. Then Srila Advaita Acharya personally offered everything to Lord Vishnu. So, protome paka karyachena acharyani Vishnu samapana koila acharya apani. So if we say the translations sometimes first, then you can catch a little bit of the Bengali. Then Tinathani Bhoga, all right. So all the prepared food was divided into 3 equal parts. 1 part was arranged on a metal plate for offering to Lord Krishna. So that in Bangla is Tinathani Bhoga Bharayila Samakari Krishnera Bhoga Bharayila Dhatu Patro Pari. Then next verse, of the 3 divisions, 1 was arranged on a metal plate and the other 2 were arranged on plantain leaves. These leaves were not bifurcated, so they were the big leaf. And they were taken from a banana tree that held at least 32 bunches of bananas. In other words, very healthy tree. And the banana leaf, everybody who's been to India knows, a big wide leaf, and they usually bifurcate, cut it down the middle. But this is not bifurcated, it is the full 2 sides of the leaf, and strong, from a strong, healthy tree. The 2 plates were filled very nicely with the kinds of food described below. Acha. So that verse in Bangla, Batisha Atya Kolara Angatya Pate Duitai Bhoga Barayila Bhalamate. Now we're going to get descriptions of different kinds of preparations made for Mahaprabhu. And I can't help but think of, oh, the camera's on. Janardhan Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardhan Maharaj, because he's always very enthusiastic to read the descriptions of the different preparations in Bengal. And he's very enthusiastic to honor Prasadam with Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj, because our feasts in Navadip and our, basically for Gurudev and his guests, then almost it's a feast every day, you can say. But for our feasts in Navadip, many of these exact preparations are there. And so they are relishing, Janardhan Maharaj especially, relishing very nicely, like a living Chaitanya-charitamrta, taking all this prasadam. So, Janardhan Maharaj, please forgive us, but anything which makes us remember the Vaishnavas, we are very happy to do that, Maharaj. All right. And I'm sure he's smiling if he would know that we are saying this. And he's now got one tooth missing, so he smiles very happily with his one tooth missing. All right. Back to the text. We should go to the text. Okay, so the cooked rice was a stack of very fine grains, nicely cooked. And in the middle was yellow clarified butter from the milk of cows. Surrounding the stack of rice were pots made of the skins of banana trees. And in these pots were varieties of vegetables and mung dal. So those pots, and I don't know whether it's here, but in some of these festivals it's saying how these pots which were made of this, in case of the skin, the outer cover of the banana tree trunk, and sometimes they're saying made of leaves of different trees. They're saying these pots did not totter and did not leak. I mean, sometimes like this. And so you see, even the pots very cleverly made. How many of us can find a banana tree, just take off the skin and then make some pot which you can put dal inside? But here, you see, they're putting dal inside these pots. So even in Chaitanya-charitamrta, there's glorification of the pots that they are taking prasadam. All right, among the cooked vegetables were patolas, squash, manakachu, and a salad made with the pieces of ginger and various types, and probably comma, and various types of spinach. Thus there was shukta, bitter melon mixed with all kinds of vegetables, defying the taste of nectar. There were 5 types of bitter and pungent shuktas. So we better catch up with the Bengali. Madhya pita grita sikta shalya amnera stupa charidike vyanjana donga ana mugda supa sadraka vastuka shaka vividha prakara patola kushmanda bari manakachu ara chai maricha shukhita diya sabba phala mulle amrita nindaka pancha vidha tikta jhale. All right. Amongst the various vegetables were newly grown leaves of nimba trees, fried with eggplant. The fruit known, Kamala nimba patra, saha bhaja vataki is eggplant. Patola, fullabari, bhaja, kusmanda, manachaki. Okay. The fruit known as patola was fried with fullabari, a kind of dal preparation, first mashed and then dried in the sun. There was also a preparation known as kushmanda manachaki. All right, so that was Kamala nimba patra saha bhaja vataki patola fulla bari bhaja kushmanda manachaki. Next verse, English. The preparation made with coconut pulp mixed with curd and rock candy was very sweet. There was a curry made of banana flowers and squash boiled in milk, all in great quantity. So narikela shashya, channa, sarkara madhura, mocha ghanta, dugda kushmanda, sakala prachura.
Like in the Bhogarati.
Like in the Bhogarati, yeah. Madhuramla. Oh, okay. Madhuramla bara. Amladi panchachaya. Sakala vyanjana karila loke jatahaya. There were small cakes in sweet and sour sauce, and 5 or 6 kinds of sour preparations. All the vegetables were so made that everyone present could take prasadam. Next verse. There were soft cakes made with mung dal, soft cakes made with ripe bananas, and soft cakes made with urad dal. There were various kinds of sweetmeats, condensed milk mixed with rice cakes, a coconut preparation, and every kind of cake desirable. All right? And every kind of cake desirable. That in Bengali is Mugda bara, Kala bara, Masa bara, Mishta, Khira fully, Nari kela, Jata pita ishta. I'm sure you all know, we are simply reading Chaitanya-charitamrta like as a continuous reading. So some parts are philosophical, some parts are very high and we cross over, and some parts are very wonderful like this. So we take everything in all of its variety, step by step, as we go through the Chaitanya-charitamrta, the Parayan, the daily continuous reading.
This is a simple meal for sannyas.
Especially after they've just taken sannyas. But remember, Mahaprabhu had been fasting because he'd been wandering around for some days, and then he was by trickery brought here. And anyway, we know this place, and there is a signboard, and Maharaj has probably seen it. If it is still there, I don't know. But now there is a bypass around Shantipur. If you drive from Navadip to Calcutta, and before you'd always have to go through Shantipur town, and always congested. But there was a right-hand turn. There was a 90-degree left-hand turn in the town, then the road very narrow, then there was a 90-degree, literally right-hand turn. And you have to, the buses, you can't have 2 buses go around the corner at the same time. But right in front of you on that right-hand turn is the temple and house of Advaita Acharya in Shantipur. But where this festival took place was at his house, no doubt, but one of his houses, part of his house. I can't say why it is in a different place, but in the mango gardens of Advaita Acharya. And now, when you go to Calcutta that way, you don't go through that tight part and don't see that house, which is now a temple of Advaita Acharya. But when you go around, you go through the big mango, nice mango orchards, like acres and acres and acres of mango orchards. And Gurudev just peacefully saying, these orchards, these are Advaita Acharya's mango garden. This is his mango garden. And then one part there is a sign saying something like Advaita Acharya's place, something like that, just a small, in Bengali, on the side. And then we pass it many times, and then one day I'm driving from Calcutta to Navadip, and only myself and Jayadev Prabhu, the driver Dev, Jayadev Prabhu, who we know very well. And we were in the car, and then we just said, should we go in and see? Because we passed this sign. And then, it wasn't him, it was me. I was corrupting Jayadev Rupa, because we normally don't go anywhere without savor, to go in to see. But it always was a little bit in the mind, what is there? So went there, and first of all, it's a really super place. It's within the garden, the mango garden of Advaita Acharya, and then it has this sign. So we went in, and we drove in and almost got we're in the Tato Sumo, we almost got stuck in the mud because it was not really a road. We just went in. And then we walked in. And then I took some photos to ask Gurudev. And then we went to Navadip, and then later was back in Calcutta. And then I kind of cautiously asked Gurudev, is this, we saw the sign, and I told him where it is this the place? And Guru said, yes, it is. This is the place where Mahaprabhu was brought to, where that great feast took place. And Gurudev was happy to see the picture, so I was a little relieved that we didn't do anything wrong. But he was happy to see the pictures, and it is a maintained place, and it is a courtyard. Some of the temples are sort of in a courtyard. It's not just a temple by itself. And it's in a bit of a courtyard, a very sweet place, and it feels wonderful. So we were very happy to get that confirmation from Gurudev, and that Gurudev was happy to see the photos. Kind of joined us there, as it were. Anyway, Jai Gurudev, a little remembrance of him. So this is taking place. This is all taking place there. All right, next verse. All around the 3 eating places, because they've been divided into 3, were 100 pots filled with various kinds of vegetables. Panchasha donga vyanjane purina tina bhogira ashe pashe rakila dharinya. Next verse. Along with the various vegetables was sweet rice mixed with ghee. This was kept in new earthen pots. Earthen pots filled with highly condensed milk were placed in 3 places. So, sagrita payasa navamrita kundika bharinya tina patre ghanavata dugda raketa dhariya. Next, dugda chira kala ara dugda laklaki yutika karila taha kahita na shaki. Okay, besides the other preparations, there was chipped rice made with milk and mixed with bananas, and also white squash boiled in milk. Indeed, it is not possible to describe all the preparations that were made. Dui pashe dharila sabba mritta kundika bhari champa kala dadhi sandesha kahite na pari. In 2 places there were earthen pots filled with another preparation made with yogurt. Sandesh, a sweetmeat. Oh, okay, sandesh, we know sandwich. And bananas. I am unable to describe it all. Next verse. Upon the stack of boiled rice and all the vegetables were flowers of the tulasi trees. There were also pots filled with scented water. That is, Anna Vyanjana Uppari Dila Tulasi Manjari Tina Jalapatre Suvasita Jalabhari. Next, there were 3 sitting places where soft cloths were placed. Thus Lord Krishna was offered all the food, and the Lord took it very pleasantly. So this is the Bhoga offering. Tina Shubhra Pitta Tara Upari Vasana E Rupe Shakshat Krishna Karaila Bhojana. Next verse. It is the system after offering food to perform Bhoga Arati. Advaita Prabhu asked the 2 brothers, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, to come and see the Arati. The two lords and all others present went to see the Arati ceremony. So Aratira Kali Dui Prabhu Bolaila Prabhu Sange Sobe Asi Arati Dekila. Next verse, Arati Korea Krishne Korala Shayana Acharya Asi Prabhure Tabe Koila Nivedana. After Arati was performed for the deities in the temple, Lord Krishna was made to lie down to rest. Advaita Acharya then came out to submit something to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nivedana. Okay, so what did he submit? My dear lords, kindly enter the room. The two brothers, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, then came forward to take the prasadam. In Bengali, Grihera Bhittare Prabhu Karuna Gamana Dui Bhai Aila Tabe Korite Bhojana. Next, Mukunda Haridasa Dui Prabhu Bolaila Jora Hate Dui Jana Kahite Lagila. When Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu went to accept the prasadam, they both called Mukunda and Haridas to come with them. However, Mukunda and Haridas, both with folded hands, spoke as follows. Next verse, Mukunda kahe Mora kichu kritya nahi sare pache mui prasada pamu tumi jaha ghare. When Mukunda was called for, he submitted. My dear sir, I have something to do that is not yet finished. Later I shall accept the prasadam. So you two Prabhus should now please enter the room. Next verse. Haridas Thakur said, I am the most sinful and lowest among men. Later I shall eat one palmful of prasad while waiting outside. That is, Haridasa kohe, mui papishta adhama, bahire ekko mushti pache karimu bhojana. All right, next. Advaita Acharya took Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu within the room, and the two lords saw the arrangement of prasadam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was especially very pleased. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu approved of all the methods employed in cooking and offering food to Krishna. Indeed, he was so pleased that he said, frankly, I will personally take the lotus feet of anyone who can offer Krishna such nice food and place those and place those lotus feet of who offered it on my head birth after birth. Okay, so frankly, I will personally take the lotus feet of anyone who can offer Krishna such nice food and place those lotus feet on my head birth after birth. Okay, so two verses there are Dui Prabhu Loya Acharya Gela Bittara Ghare Prasada Dekya Prabhura Ananda Antare and Aiche Anna Jai Krishna Ke Karaya Bhojana Janme Janme Shire Dharun Tahara Charana. Okay, just a little bit more. Prabhu Janne Tina Boga Krishnera Naivedya Acharyera Manahakata Nahe Prabhura Vedya. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered the room, he saw 3 divisions of food, and he knew that all of these were meant for Krishna. However, he did not understand the intention of Advaita Acharya. Mahaprabhu said, let us sit down in these 3 places and we shall take prasadam. However, Advaita Acharya said, I shall distribute the prasadam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought that all 3 servings were meant for distribution. Therefore, he asked for another 2 banana leaves, saying, let us have a very little quantity of vegetable and rice. But Advaita Acharya said, Just sit down here on these seats. Catching their hands, he sat them both down. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, it is not proper for a sannyasi to eat such a variety of foods. If he does, how can he control his senses? All right, let's catch up with the Bengali, and we're just going to... a couple of more verses. Jai Shri Giriraj Ju Ki Jai, Balagopal Ju Ki Jai. Prabhu Bale. Vaisa tine koriye bhojana, Acharya kohe, ami koriba pariveshana, konstane vasiba ara anna dui pata, alpa kori anita he deha vyanjana bhata. Acharya kohe, vaisa dohe pindira uppare, et bole hatte dhari, Vasaila duhare. He grabbed them by the hands and sat them down. Prabhu kohe, sanyasira bhakshana he upakarana, iha khaile kaiche hoya indriya varana. Next, Acharya kohe. So Advaita Acharya said, Chada tumi appanara churi, Ammi Saba Jani Tomara Sanyasera Bhari Bhuri. When Mahaprabhu did not accept the food that had already been served, Advaita Acharya said, please give up your concealment. I know what you are, and I know the confidential meaning of your accepting the sannyas order. Advaita Acharya thus requested Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to eat and give up juggling words. The Lord replied, I certainly cannot eat so much food. All right, we're going to end there because it goes on for a while. The play of Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, as we shall see, and Advaita Acharya in the house of Advaita Acharya, at that wonderful place in Shantipur, in district Nadia, West Bengal. All right, it is now question time. Maharaj has been much too quiet. We want to hear something from Maharaj. So please, some questions for Maharaj.
Maharaj, is there any commentaries of Guru Varga about how these pastimes were revealed to the writer? Because we know that he wasn't present at that time, but when we read the description, we see such a detailed explanation of even preparations.
Well, I mean, we hear in Chaitanya-charitamrta itself that Swarup Damodar kept a notebook and composed verses and descriptions of Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Raghunath Das Goswami Prabhu also took notes and wrote poetry summarizing his pastimes. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami received from Raghunath Das those descriptions as well as many personal accounts and descriptions. We hear Rupa and Sanatan would listen to Raghunath talk about Mahaprabhu for hours every day. So Raghunath, who lived with Mahaprabhu for many years in Puri, he was a great resource and carrier of so many of the descriptions and what took place. And we're told that Kaviraj Goswami had his personal association and presented all of these things that we hear, like officially, so to speak. But whether Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu had other sources from other Parshad devotees or what was just known in general amongst the devotees, we would think there would be much more that was known and remembered amongst the general community, and how much was directly revealed in his heart as he began his composition. That also must be something. shortly like that, by some way of direct hearing from eyewitnesses and written accounts, some acquaintance through association, like here we're sharing our memories and experiences of Srila Gurudev, and there's everyone is carrying their own story as well as what they've heard from so many others. And some revelation is also possible. It's also there. Just briefly, I mean, that's all.
Maharaj, could you give some comment on this Prasadam pastime in Advaita Acharya's house? We would like to relish some of this Prasadam katha.
Well, Prasadam is a joyful thing for devotees, and to see how Mahaprabhu himself, Advaita Prabhu, are exchanging so much affection through the honoring and distribution of Prasadam. One way we can say that Prasadam is like a vehicle by which affection and honor is expressed for one another, and a means by, we hear Bhungte Bhujayati Chaiva Shadvidi Priti Lokana, that the means of affection or association is to feed and be fed by one another. So we see even the Lord himself and his highest associates, they are engaged in such exchanges of affection and honor through all the etiquette that's involved in honoring Prasadam. But we can say the etiquette is also there. Like the part of the way the affection is expressed is through how persons choose to apply or not apply, or the role they choose to assume within the etiquette by which the Prasadam is honored. So that we can encourage within our community that people will have consciousness about the etiquette about how Prasadam is served, will add to the sweetness of honoring Prasadam, not feel like a restriction or some dry implication upon it, but really facilitate very fine expressions of affection and respect for one another. And also, Mahaprabhu makes this little bit dry remark, saying, "Oh, how can I honor so many preparations? A sannyasi is supposed to control his senses." So this statement of Mahaprabhu is like similarly when Ramananda is saying, "You are seeing Mahaprabhu's divine nature," and Mahaprabhu, "I'm a Mayavadi. What are you talking about? I'm just a Mayavadi sannyasi." Similarly, how can I honor this Prasadam? How am I going to control my, that conception is not the Vaishnava conception of Prasadam. That's, the general sannyas conception of, but Mahaprabhu is speaking that to, as a ploy, so to speak, by which he's, adding to this sort of exchange that he's having with Advaita Acharya to ultimately to bring out more and more of Advaita Acharya's forceful affection and demonstrate the intimacy that they have, where Mahaprabhu is giving these mild objections, and Advaita, out of his love for Mahaprabhu, the proof of the closeness of their relationship is overstepping what Mahaprabhu is saying and giving him clothes, giving him prasadam, giving him these things anyway. And that is very tasteful to them both ultimately. But, we hear, Taki jita kotina sang sore. It is so difficult to control the tongue, so difficult to control the senses. And how are we to do that? Then Krishna, so prasad, he has given us the prasadam to control the senses. Not, there's so much prasadam, it's the opposite idea. We'd rather, by honoring prasadam, by considering the satisfaction that Krishna has had in tasting these foods, in the wonderful expressions of the devotees that they've made through their offerings of these things, to see what sort of service is being offered to Krishna, with what sort of wonder it is that Krishna is receiving these things from his devotees. That is to honor the prasadam so to speak, and how it may taste to us or something like that is a objective consideration rather than a subjective consideration. And that was Guru Maharaj's sort of gist point about honoring Prasadam, is that we will honor it with the idea of how has this been appreciated by the higher subject, not how does it appear as an object to me. So we may be in the intermediate position, but we're not focusing entirely on the objective side, but rather on what elements of that produce remembrance and further affinity for the higher subject and ultimate enjoyer and recipient of all of these offerings. So that we know in general, but here it's I've heard sometimes some confusion come about that remark of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu says, if we honor a big feast, we won't be practicing sense control, and sometimes someone is having some hesitation about that or something like that. But rather else later on there's another instance of a similar situation, and Swarup Damodar says, just taste what Jagannath has tasted. Just honor what has been given to Jagannath. And Mahaprabhu can't argue with that. He accepts. So and then as it's highlighted, as we'll read next time, about what was the way that Advaita Acharya was offering and what was his view of Mahaprabhu coming to his home, then the depth of the subjective meaning of that prasadam is given in great detail as the chapter goes on.
And about this etiquette of prasadam, we have seen Gurudev's enthusiasm, personally taking the charge of everybody, how the devotees are sitting at the festival times, or the sannyasis, the guests, the people who are coming, how they're sitting. And I have just now I'm thinking in what's now the old prasadam hall, but was the new prasadam hall, the opposite the ladies' house, between the ladies' house and Guru Maharaj's Bhajan Kutir, that kind of square building that came to be used as a carpenter place and everything downstairs. That was the new prasadam hall, but very clearly different festivals. There's one festival, Gurudev fully taking charge upstairs of who is doing what. And Gurudev has a loud voice. Okay, sure, he's very humble, everything, but really he has a loud voice. And up there, he's got everybody, Maharaj, so happily. And nobody's going to be waiting for other things on the plate. And they have the whole procedure, starting with the sannyasis, brahmacharis, and coming around, and the guests, and everybody, the guest part, guests are all honored first, and then the matavasi, the people living in the mat, etc. And how much enthusiasm Gurudev had that everybody will be satisfied this way. And beautiful, beautiful remembrances of those sweet festivals that took place. So not only Chaitanya-charitamrta from 500-ish years ago, but also the Leela of the Vaishnavas continuing generation by generation. Vishaka Devidasi, you are also very quiet. Would you like to say a few words? Please, we invite a few words on this subject or any subject. You have honored prasadam many times in Navadvip.
If there's some specific question or topic, you can try.
Sorry, could you give some comment on what Chaitanya Maharaj said about tasting prasadam in the mood that Krishna accepted it, and trying to see how I didn't really catch it. Trying to see how he honored it. Well, I didn't really understand that point.
Well, that was Guru Maharaj's comment in relation to what Sri Damodar told Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu, he said, I'll just take the lakshmi, take the very simple sabji, and you give the fancy prasadam to the devotees. Now, I'm a sannyasi, I should practice some austerity, I'll take this very simple vegetable preparation. But Sri Damodar said, as Maharaj said, no, you just take it and see how Jagannath tasted it. So the idea that, so what Parambhu Maharaj says there is that from the objective side, like your own taste experience, you will go to the subjective side, consideration of your, the Lord. How has He appreciated this? This is, the Vaishnavas, they are never thinking for their own enjoyment, but they are, when they're taking prasad, they're thinking, oh, this is nice, I'm so happy that the Lord has been able to take this nice prasad, or I'm so happy that the Vaishnavas, they've been able to take this nice prasad. They are not thinking for their own satisfaction. Or like we heard Parambhu Maharaj, if somebody would put too much salt or something, he would chastise them. Is that true, Maharaj? I heard something like that. If somebody put too much chili or salt, he would be upset about that because it was a disturbance for the deity, for the devotees. Did you hear anything like that?
I didn't, and I've not seen anything like that.
Okay. I thought I heard something. But anyway, we can think, if something has been prepared badly, and the Vaishnava is unhappy, but they're not thinking for themselves, they're thinking for the Lord and for the other Vaishnavas. In that way, the devotee, they're seeing everything in that Krishna-centric way. They're seeing some beautiful environments, they're being reminded of some, higher pastime, or they're thinking this place would be so suitable for this service, or we should bring the Vaishnavas here for Harinam, or something like that. Everything is in connection with the higher plane. Nothing is in connection with our own egocentric satisfaction.
If some devotee is doing some preparation and he puts so much effort and trains so hard and ends up spoiling it somehow, by putting too much soul, and appreciation of the Lord wouldn't reduce because of that, but appreciation of someone who can taste it and say, oh, it's not so tasty. So I'm not so clear about how being a person you can see the thing or appreciate the thing, but from the subjective side.
I'm not following you so much. I think I see two different points.
Yeah,
what you said.
Honoring it and seeing it, and you get what you allowed to see and allowed to experience, and how divine experiences and appreciates it. How can I go out of my so to say person and see it from that side,
how can you go out of your own?
She just said be Krishna center. She just said.
I thought that was clear what Maharaj said. If you're tasting some sweet rice, you will try to think, instead of thinking, oh, this is very nice, I like it very much, you will try to think, oh, this is so nice, I'm happy that Giriraj has been able to take such nice sweet rice. Or I'm happy that the Vaishnavas have been able to take such nice sweet rice. Or sometimes the cooks, they're tasting a little bit even before the offering, right? They're not tasting for their own enjoyment, but they're tasting to see, is it suitable for my Lord? So, in the same way, we will take prasadam, we will try to think like that. Does it make sense?
Yes,
It makes sense.
Much. We would like to go on in this way. Maybe now it's getting a little late. Everyone has to take some breakfast prasad.
Prasadam?
Yes, but
You got hungry from hearing the description. Now you cannot eagerness to take.
Now it's time to
Okay.
too much hearing. Now we have to practice.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Madhavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan.
Sundaram Shri Madhusudan
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra
Radhara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Radha Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhata Raghuna
Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhata Raghuna
Shri Jiva Gopala Bhata Das Raghuna
Shri Jiva Gopal Bhata Das Raghuna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ji ki Jai Saprika Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandhav Govinda Sundar Ji ki Jai Pancha Tattva ki Jai Shri Navadip Dham ki Jai Shri Nam Sankirtan ki Jai Jai Shri Gurudev ki Jai Shri Guru Maharaj ki Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai Sri Chaitanya-charitamrta ki Jai Shri Krishna Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai Jai Shri Mahaprasad Seva ki Jai Munindra Prabhu Portami hankering for Mahaprasad ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Sripad Tyagi Maharaj ki Jai, Vishaka Devi Rasi ki Jai, all the assembled devotees ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya-charitamrta Acharya Vrinda ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.